As it stands now, our names are not spoken. Instead, women are often referred to as a man's daughter, wife, sister, or mother. In fact, a woman's name is considered so private that it's embarrassing or shameful to some if they are made to say it. Strangers will call a woman auntie or teacher. And we are traditionally not addressed at all by men who are not related to us. Just saying a woman's name in public is rare and sometimes jarring to hear. Depending on your perspective, this is either a sign of progress or a questionable development. Handing Wi-Fi-enabled devices to each Arab girl to create a digital profile for herself is probably every baba's worst nightmare when it comes to his daughter. And I'm sure there are parents in the US who would say the same. Now, there are Arab women who have followers by the millions, showing off their outfits and their personalities, with their names splashed all over the web. These social media influencers are proudly claiming their place in cyberspace, even if they can't in real life. Recently, the New York Times reported on a small social media campaign launched by activists in Afghanistan with the hashtag #WhereIsMyName to remind Afghani women to reclaim their names in public spaces. Like Arab women, Afghani women are often also reduced to simply being a mother, a daughter, a wife, or a sister. I know that many men aren't choosing to be blatantly misogynistic by deliberately eliminating women's names. This is a deeply rooted practice passed down without explanation. It should also be said that not all Arab men want to stick with nomadic traditions. During his reign, the late King Abdullah of Saudi renamed the second campus of a women's university in Riyadh with the full name of his aunt, Princess Noura bint Abdul Rahman, which is said to be the largest all-women campus in the world. To name a campus after a woman in Saudi Arabia was a revolutionary thing at the time. And let's remember, these kinds of practices and questions over whether and when to use a female name aren't just an Eastern thing or even an ancient one. Women around the globe sometimes opt not to use their female name because they can be seen as less powerful or less respected. Female authors concealed their real names for centuries, for example. And that practice continues. J.K. Rowling sometimes writes under a male name, and even the name she used to publish the Harry Potter books doesn't reveal her gender. This debate may have expanded from the kitchen table to a broader global forum, but so far it's mostly virtual, at least in the Arab world. Our real mission now is to have that conversation go beyond the screen and into the streets and houses of government. The question is, can we, will we and should we enable women and lift the stigma or shame by simply sharing women's names in public? We'll find out. Allowing women the option to drive themselves in Saudi is going to open up doors, but my hope is that it'll open up minds, too. I want men to proudly address a woman and say her name to her out loud, instead of merely replying to her social media handle in silence. This is about equality and about making women fully present in the community. In Cuba, where my mother is from, children combine both of their parents' last names as their own. First, it's the father's last name, then the mother's. As a Saudi Latina teenager, I decided to adopt that Latin tradition in unofficial documents. It's a small gesture, but helps me remember that I am the daughter of both of my parents. I want to be reminded, at least virtually, that I attribute myself to the two people who birthed me. I belong to my father, as well as to my mother. But really, like all women, I belong to myself.